Hi kids, and welcome to Sunday School. Today we're going to learn of the story of the Prodigal Son. The reason for this story? Today is Father's Day, so we're going to learn of the story of the father who loved his lost son. Jesus told the story of a rich man who had two sons. He was very rich, had a big farm, and many servants to look after it. But one day, the younger son went to the father and angrily said, "Father, I want you to give me my share of the money right now." The father was very sad, but he gave his rebellious son the money. The younger son left his home, went to another country. All he did was party around, and he wasted his money. Until one day, he had no more money, no more friends, and there was a famine in the land. He had nowhere to live now. He was forced to look for a job, and he found one, feeding the pigs. He spent many days and nights lonely and hungry. He was so miserable that he even ate the food that he was feeding to the pigs. And at that time, he realized how foolish he was, of how all his father's family and servants were with food, and he was here hungry. He decided that he would go home and say, "Father, I have sinned against God and you. I am not good enough to be your son. Please let me be one of your servants." So, keeping that thought in mind, he went on a long journey through dusty roads. In the meanwhile, the father used to miss his son a lot, and he always used to look out, hoping that he would return. Until one day, suddenly he saw his son from a far way off, and he ran towards his son and gave him a big hug. He welcomed him home, and the son told him, "Father, I have sinned against God and you. I am not good enough to be called your son." But the father wiped away the tears from his eyes and said, "My son, I forgive you because I love you." The father then called his servants to bring clothes and sandals and a ring for his son, and they were going to eat a very good feast. Because his son was dead, and now he's alive. He was lost, and now he's found. Of course, the older brother got jealous that his father did not throw him a party, and jealous that his father took care of the younger son even when he wasted so much money. His father explained to him that everything he had belonged to the first son, but they were celebrating because the younger brother was dead and is now alive. Jesus told this story to let us know that our Heavenly Father loves us so much, even when we disobey Him. If we are really sorry, stop being disobedient and return to Him. He welcomes us with open arms. He is the Father that all fathers on earth should strive to become. But have you ever thought that your father was never perfect, like the Father in heaven? Well, look at Adam. He had to play the blame game when the Lord found out that he had eaten the forbidden fruit. Look at Noah. Nobody listened to his preachings for that many years. Look at Abraham. He made a mistake in bearing Ishmael. Look at Jacob. He was always a deceiver. And the list goes on. But what they had in common is that the Lord used their small obedience over their big disobediences to fulfill His plans. And since our Heavenly Father wants us to be like Him, we ought to love our fathers the same way that He loves them. Today's activity is going to be that of making a Father's Day card. If you're with your father, do give him this card. And if you're not, then address this to your Father who is in heaven and who loves you very much. For today's activity, we're going to be making a Father's Day card. For this, you are going to need an A4 sheet, and we're going to fold it in the middle to get a partition of the paper. Next, we will open up the paper again. You can see the partition. Now, from all the four sides, we are going to make small triangles at the edges that come to the center. Make sure they're all put correctly. Next, we are going to fold this side to the middle. And in the same way, the other side. Next, the pointed part, we're going to fold it inward so that the entire shape of the paper forms a rectangle. It's going to look like this. Next, we'll turn the paper to the side where there are no folds, and here is where we're going to write our letter. For this, you can use a sketch pen, a pen, or a pencil. You can decorate it however you want, but you're going to write the following words compulsorily. So let's turn the paper to start writing. Let us first write Happy Father's Day on the top in small letters. Next, we will write the words thank you, and then we'll write the word for below it. Then let's write the first point, number 1, loving me. Point number 2, guiding me. Point number 3, bringing me candies. You can write any point that you want for point number 3. This is just a sample point. Bringing me candies. And then you can put a small smiley emoji if you want. There you go. Now the most important thing to write to your dad is a verse taken from the Bible. The verse that we are going to write today is taken from Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 17. We will write these in small letters. Blessed is the man. Blessed is the man who trusts. Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord, comma. Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord, comma, and whose hope is the Lord. Full stop. Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord and whose hope is the Lord. Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 7. Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 7. Now you have your card ready. The next thing that you're going to do is take the top portion of your card and fold it down a little below the middle line. Make sure it's tight. And then take the bottom portion of your card and fold it up as well. It should look something like this. Now that you have it looking like this, we're going to take the flap from under and we're going to put this portion inside the flap like this. Might be a little difficult, but bear with us. Okay, now your card looks like this. On the left side, we're going to write the words, Happy Father's Day. And on the right side, we're going to write, Thank you, Dad. In the middle, we're going to write the word, Pull here. And then we will draw one arrow. Now what your dads are going to do is they're going to take this portion and they're going to pull it out slowly, and there comes the letter. Here's your Father's Day card. Hope you made your card well.